This is Jane McKee from Team CNH Sugar. We're on Molokai, and this is Fly Girl Surfing and Sports TV.
She wakes up and takes up a surfboard, heads out from the seashore, from the world and where she lives. She's got no fears or worries at all right there, just the smell of salt water that's in the air, and the sunrise. She's walking on water. She's walking on water.
Fly Girl Surfing and Sports is brought to you by Spaghettini in Haleiwa. Moku Hawaii Surf Shop has everything you need for your next surf go-out. Get in on the action at Moku Surf Shop. Rent a board by Donald Takayama, Carl Shopper, Claude Codgens, Jay Richardson, Firewire, Hinson, Cheater 5, and more. SUP boards, fins, snorkels, bodyboards, awesome lessons, they have it all. Located perfectly 1 block inland from famous Queen Surf Break in Waikiki, meeting all your surfing needs with aloha.
We'll set the GPS when we get to the boat, and I'm going to set it for Hanauma Bay for now. Okay, we don't want to come in too high and have all that slop, 3 miles off of Portlock. So initially we're going to take advantage of the north swell, or the north tide, and get as far north as we can. That's going to be a couple hours. And then later we can adjust.
So that gets us lined up better to really...
Yeah, because once it pushes south, it's going to be hard to fight that.
Yeah. So
I always go, here's Molokai, it's a big rectangle.
Okay, look, here we go. Here's where we start.
Okay, so 4 years ago, I found out about downwind stand-up paddling. I always thought it was sprints, buoy turns, which did not interest me at all. So the minute I got my first wave on a downwind board, I was hooked. It's kind of like being on a one-man, but a little bit slower, but just as fun. So I now have been helping escort the M2O for about 3 years and decided it was time for me to do the race myself. So here we are. So I wanted to go on an unlimited board, which is with a rudder. And the only way to do that is to go solo, which I wasn't quite ready for, or go with a team. So I wanted 2 other women that were around my age that were stand-up paddlers. So Kristen and Jen, Kristen Thomas and Jen Fuller were my Facebook friends, and I just threw it out there and said, would you guys be interested in doing this with me? And it was an instant yes. So here we are. We've got our 3-woman team on an unlimited board ready to go tomorrow. I always say just keep moving. And as long as you do that, you can do anything you want. It's all up here. So we're all kind of on the same page as that. Trust me, we have the best escort in the world. Ray and Kirk Clark, which make the famous Hawaiian cat motorboats that we're on, and ours is brand new. So we have good mana on this race. Good guardian angels.
Starting in high school, I was actually the first of 2 women on the boys soccer team. And I played for a little bit, but I was actually really into horses, so I was a pony clubber, and that was my life all the way through high school until I went to college. And then I went to college for physiology and kinesiology, but I had little interruptions in the middle of that. So I started windsurfing, and I was on the 1992 Olympic team, and it was kind of it was a fun thing, but it was a lot of work, and there wasn't a ton of support for it. It moved me on to my next phase. The SUPing came in 2009, right at the end, and I had some clients and friends that had one, and they lent me a board. So I started paddling. That was when I was in Sausalito, and so I went and I just kept going further and further out into the bay, and I wasn't quite intimidated by the water because I've had a lot of ocean experience, a lot of navigation experience, so I have a good feel for the water, but I was definitely taking my time with it. And then I liked it enough, so I bought my own board. I bought my board over the phone because there were no stores in my area. And I bought it from a guy in Santa Barbara, sent it to me, and I was off and running. Somebody said, hey, there's a race in the area. And that's when I just really got into it.
Facebook, social media is a really interesting medium. We had never met, but had admired each other's, I think, accomplishments. She's an amazing OC racer for decades and now is doing stand-up. I don't think we had ever raced against each other, but rumor was that she was looking for badass old ladies or women around her age to be on a relay and do something she hadn't done yet on a stand-up, which is Molokai to Oahu. And that certainly resonated with me, and honored that somebody suggested me as someone that she should talk to. Definitely the logistics of this, it's something I'd thought about doing. It's a challenge to get here, and the cost and all the little pieces. So having someone who lives here, who knows people, who knows the channel was huge. So could not pass up the opportunity. So definitely made arrangements and made it happen, and super stoked to be here. Yeah, no, my heart's beating fast. I definitely have a healthy, always a respect for Mother Ocean, but also for this channel, and have heard all kinds of stories. The Channel of Bones. It's going to be challenging, though. It's going to be hard. My biggest challenge is that this is brand new to me, that I've downwinded in other types of conditions, but we just don't have the same. You can't replicate what Hawaii has in California.
Fly Girls Surfing in Sports is brought to you in part by the North Shore Surf Factory, the Surf Bus, renewal by Anderson Windows, comfy clothes, Pakaloha Bikinis, Surf and Sea in Haleiwa, Sea Hawaii, Chronic Surfboards, Country Surfboards, and the Duke Kahanamoku Foundation, all in honor of Duke Kahanamoku.
All right, guys, we're here this morning. We want to honor one of the greatest paddleboarders, one of the pioneer big wave surfers, and champion canoe paddler this morning, George Downing. Everybody, let's put your hands together for George Downing. Right, let us pray. Lord, we're gathered here from around the world to paddle across the channel. And although we are from different areas in the world, the ocean is our link. We're all connected to each other through the ocean. And we ask you, Lord, to bless us as we paddle across the channel today. We ask you, Lord, to keep us safe. We ask you, Lord, to give us your blessing for strength so that we may cross the channel. And we ask you, Lord, to bless our families that are about to meet us there, that you may take them there safely. We ask you, Lord, to bless the officials and the boats that are escorting us. And we ask you, Lord, to keep them safe. And we ask you, Lord, to give us strength. Even though we think we can't make it, just give us one more bump. Just give us one more paddle. Take us all the way through to the finish. We ask all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Where are you guys from?
Australia.
All right.
Hi, Bob.
See you yet?
It's the strongest field ever in the Women's Unlimited, and I think it's between Harriet Brown, Riel Cooper, and Liz Wellborn. I mean, it's a tough field.
How many people all together in the race this year?
There's 162 paddlers. We had quite a few dropouts just because of injuries prior to the race. I guess the training regimen for these guys nowadays is so hard. We usually have about 15 injury pull-outs before the race.
All right, I'm still in. Daijoubu?
Yes, daijoubu. And we're gonna be really strong, I thought, more than I thought. So gonna be have a good fun to hope it to catch a good run, and then hope it to get on the off island as soon as possible. That's my to focus to get try to do best what I need to do
Yes. I'm Alice.
Alice, and where are you from?
I am from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh, awesome! So tell me about the race. Is it your first time, and what are you expecting?
So I did relay last year, so this is my first time being on my own. So I expect it's going to be harder, but I am excited to be able to take ownership of that experience when I'm done, for that to be mine. So I'm super grateful for everything I learned doing relay and just all the people that have helped me. And I think it's important to realize too that even when you paddle solo, it's not a single person effort. There's just a whole team of paddlers that all help each other, and it's absolutely impossible without each other because of the phone calls that are made, the last second help, and my boat captain fell through, this, that, and the other. It's just a really great network, especially amongst prone paddlers. There's so few of us, we really have to rely on each other. So that's kind of what it's about for me.
So you're doing prone. What kind of board are you on?
I'm on a custom bark, which I'm pretty excited about. It's pretty close to what I paddle at home, but I think even better. And I was able to borrow it from someone on Oahu, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's stock board, 12 foot.
Right on. Good luck.
Thank you.
There's our boat right there. Awesome. Coming in hot. He's not shy.
Et le chant clair de ce bateau qui se dévoile à demi-mot. Immensément nacré, infiniment versé, tout un moto du bout des cils, du hameau au bout des îles. Premier chant des sirènes, la mer qui joue sur le récif, baignant de blanc et de lichen, le voyageur, le fugitif, comme un berceau du fond des âges, le bleu, le vert des lagons sages, où l'arc-en-ciel est un mirage, d'où je reviens, où je voyage.
Port Lock, or from Cocoa Head, and this is the hardest part of the race.
really fun, extremely well run. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
And these guys are amazing teammates.
Experience. There were definitely challenging parts.
Oh yeah.
You know, the water is constantly changing, the wind, but that's part of the wonderful challenge is that it's never a dull moment out there.
That is true.
I think the hardest for me was, I think it was my third round. I fell a couple times and it really gets in your head sometimes, like, okay.
Yeah.
And I had like cut my finger and my knee hurt and
We're all bloody.
So yeah, just to keep your keep focused and positive. But you know, having a team makes it 1,000 times easier. Those guys who did it solo, wow.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Wow. I mean, to say you could do this, this is the World Championships. We're the top 3 women team in the world for today. So I'll embrace that. It wasn't that big. It was challenging, but it wasn't like, oh no, I can't finish at all ever. You know, because I had them.
Right. The race itself is epic, and you want to do it. It's such a major, like, out there accomplishment.
And you know what? It is so unbelievably beautiful out there. It's amazing. We had Malolo flying everywhere. Yeah. We had the birds coming down saying
Those are flying
hi.
fish. I'm just learning my Hawaiian.
Flying fish.
And we sunk underwater and looked at that blue, indigo, gorgeous water in the middle of the channel.
Yeah.
And went, spiritual. And physical.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, definitely.
These two need to do it solo.
No. I
Yeah,
like
you do.
this.
No, they're like not even tired.
Oh, well, I was feeling it. This is our first annual girls trip.
That's right. And
we're going to do it till we're 90.
I feel quite honored. Thank you, Jane.
Aw.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kristen.
It was awesome.
Good fun.
Great team.